you all. We're here to bring you today's 8th grade football game between the Warrensville Heights Tigers in black and the Lorain Titans. Tom, a little bit different format this year.
Yes, yes.
First play of the game is a handoff to Darlin Williams, and he stopped for a loss of a couple. Middle school football, there are no kickoffs. They start with the ball at the 35.
Now the question: are they going to punt? That was always when I was
always
coach,
a question.
When I was a junior high, that was always the question. Yep. Yeah, my suggestion was always punt with no rush and no return.
No return, yeah.
So you learn the skills without all the other problems.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So first year here, Tom, with the combined group for Lorain.
Yeah.
One 8th grade team among the 3 middle schools. We'll talk more of that as the day goes on. This group has been successful to start the year. I'm aware of that.
Yeah, they're
Counterplay is going to pick up a lot of yards. First down and a lot more. Pulled down from behind by Kazan Brown.
Caden Hopkins Bay, if the numbers are right for Warrensville.
That was just a really well-run counterplay. And there was nobody out here to this side.
Yeah, I looked at Warrensville 8th grade schedule, and they're 1-1. No,
Okay.
1-0-1 because they tied. They tied Shaker 0-0, and they beat their first team they played at Kirk, wherever Kirk Junior High is, 36-0. So they specialize in defense. They made a big deal on their website about being prideful about their defense.
Well, this is a program that's trying to come back. They eliminated football a few years ago at the high school level, and next year will be the first year that they return to LEL football at the high school level. I formation, give straight, keeper. Nice ball handling there. Van Martin Jr. ahead, fumbled, picked up by a Titan, brought back across the 40. That's not a flag, that's the
marker?
The yellow beanbag. It's not really a beanbag, though.
Yeah, now the Titans are also 1-1. They beat Garfield early in the season, and they lost a real tough one to Bedford. According to the coaches, they fumbled early. They got behind, and then they had a good game after that, but then, you can't come back when you got behind.
Okay. 24, Montreal Smith on the fumble recovery. Titans will take over on their 41. The numbers look pretty good for Lorain as I look down there, Tom.
Yeah, and I'm looking at their lineup. Look at the diversity. The Longfellow, General Johnny, Longfellow, Southview.
Yeah, there's a good mix of kids from each school.
So, and I was at practice last night. I think there was 33 practicing. So you can't complain for one class.
Because you'd love to have 33 freshmen next year.
And then the 7th graders had about the same number, and they were practicing on the other side of the field.
Titans first time with the ball here. Motion, jet sweep. Give is to Damon Carter out across the 45 for a gain of about 5. We'll try and get this lineup set for you. Willie Jones, number 7, is the QB. He looks over to the sideline to get the play. Of course, the high school team signals all the plays in. So we would expect some sort of the similar from the middle school.
You see what they're doing. They watch them at practice for the first time. They have a erasable pad that they're writing the numbers down. And if you look at the team, they all have a wristband on there.
Okay, I see the wristband. High snap. Picked up, just covered there. Nice decision there. I think that was Zion Moore, 34. Snap got over the QB's head, and he made the right call, but it's a huge loss. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 20.
Yeah. That's the problem. I've always said that problem with this age group
And the shotgun?
When the shotgun snap, it's not the quarterback. He's always a good athlete.
Right.
It's getting the center where he now has to worry about a nose man that he has to
Yeah,
block.
he can't look to make that snap. Give to the single setback, which was Moore.
And look at that leg drive on him.
Pile's moving, but it's not going to move another 13 yards, which is what they need. Out to about the 38. So the errant snap took him out of rhythm, Tom. Now it's 4th down and 13. Coach Scott Sherwood calls another group out.
Now, I don't know if this is a punt team. They look like they're lining up for a punt return. Or is this
okay? So what they do is now they're going to mark off
35 yards.
35 yards back to the 32. I wish I'd have counted with them, but that seems right. And it'll be Warrensville's ball there. Reason for that, again, is the snap as much as anything. And injuries in the open field situations. Kickoff returns or kick returns in general are being legislated out of the game at all levels. Yeah. So Warrensville for the second time on offense, this time at the 27. Had a good drive started before fumbling. Van Martin is the QB. He goes under center, which is a rarity these days. Single setback behind him. He's got good. Now he backs out into a short shotgun and hands off for a counter. That is Hopkins Bay out across the 30. Interesting design there, Tom.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. I can see that Van Martin looks like maybe their best athlete. I think the first game on their website he scored 3 touchdowns in that game. So you can tell he's going to carry the ball a lot.
Not a lot of size up front for Warrensville, and on the sidelines, again, thin numbers. Warrensville is the only Division IV football school in the LEL, and which is why they haven't been competing, but next year will return to league competition as the league drops back down to 6 members.
Who's all leaving besides
Cleveland Heights and
Shaker?
Shaker are leaving. That same Shaker that just playing a full schedule last year was the first year. Another good gain, that was Darlin Williams, number 3, the running back across the 40 to the 44 for a first down.
If I'm mistaken, Shaker going back to the greater Cleveland.
That's where they
just came from.
Right. Yeah. Shaker and Garfield Heights left the greater Cleveland Conference to come to the LEL, and the greater Cleveland Conference needing teams contacted Cleveland Heights. And Cleveland Heights is bringing Shaker back. I guess Shaker had buyer's remorse and changed their minds. 1st and 10 at the 44.
Oh, a little
keeper
fumble
again. Van Martin with the ball made the first couple men miss, and he's out near the 49. That's all yak because he was hit behind the line.
He had that little fumble, but a perfect bounce right back up to him. So,
and he did the right thing. He followed through where the play was going.
That's where your blocking's set up, so you might as well just follow it.
No panic, though.
Yeah.
So minute 25 to go first quarter. No score. Each team had a possession. Warrensville fumbled on their first possession. Lorain elected to take the automatic punt. Martin now waits. Got a wide receiver out there near the sidelines to the far side on 2nd and 5. Now he's waiting for the tight end or the timeout, Warrensville. Something wasn't right there.
They just want to get them organized, I'm sure. Well,
So, Tom, this is one of those try it and see how it works things for the Lorain High football program. Coach Creel was very adamant that he wanted to combine these groups into one, and they were able to do that with busing options and things like that. The kids are bused to and from practice.
They do all their practicing at the George Daniel campus here because they practice over in Johnny Wilson's old practice field.
Right.
So everything they have access to all the equipments. The sleds
Trainers,
are there.
the
trainers.
sleds.
Yeah. So it's a good situation.
And they started with these kids during conditioning in early July, if not late June, where a good number of the middle school kids were coming out a couple times a week to go through conditioning workouts with the high school players. And that's what Coach Creel wants to build. He wants to build continuity and connection. And that's the goal here with this experiment. Turn. Quarterback still got it. Keeps it. Makes another man miss and gets.
I think he got the sticks.
It's going to be real close. I wouldn't be surprised if the man over here is marking it. I think he's a yard short, but he's a lot closer with that foot over there than he is with the one over here.
I'm going with the man who is right there by the.
And it looks like he's
tackle,
just shy. You know, we laugh all the time about the estimates, but officials like to start series and possessions on hash marks for just this reason.
Yeah. It's easier to count by fives than by all those ones.
Well, and to know that they have to get it over the hash mark that is the 46-yard line there to make a first down. Now there's a whistle, and that'll do it for the first quarter. We've played one at the George. Warrensville nothing, Lorain nothing. Back with more after this timeout. What do you got? Back here at George Daniel, set to start the second quarter. The Tigers from Warrensville Heights are on offense. They have third and what would best be described as about the length of the football to go for first down. This is their second possession. They moved again into Lorain territory. In their first possession to open the game, they moved inside the 40 before losing it on a fumble. Lorain was lots of movement here.
And I think
we're going to have Warrensville moving first here. Now the official from the far side is going to weigh in. And this is really I couldn't tell if the Warrensville player on the far side moved in now they called the procedure penalty against Warrensville. So that'll back them up 5 and make it 3rd and 5 in a football.
You know, it makes going for the first down a little harder because now you got to decide, are they going to sweep? Or are they going to, run Van Martin on a sweep up the middle? You don't know now. You knew what was coming up. They were going to run that little quarterback sneak right up over the center before.
Little size coming into the Lorain lineup here.
William Watson?
That's who it looks like, Watson Williams.
At 296.
5'11", 296 comes in up front.
And Randy Moss is his favorite player. Yeah.
There's the give.
Oh.
Wrestled to the ground for a very short gain. That was Damian Carter again on the play. He's the one that came up with the fumble in the first quarter.
Now Warrensville has the question, are they going to take that 35-yard punt, or are they going to go for it?
Well, it looks from the football switching that they're going to take the punt. Well, Tom, as you said, they pride themselves on defense. They haven't given up a point yet in 2 games. Now 2 games and a quarter. Lorain will have it with 7:26 to go in the 8-minute quarter that are 8th grade football. Yeah. It'll be somewhere inside the 20 at about the 16, it looks like. So Lorain's second possession with the long field.
You talk about consistency, and Coach Creel desire to get that. I watched their offense, and it is exactly the same as Lorain. They're always in the spread. They got slots. They're running some fancy plays. They're running the option. They're running plays that you don't normally see in 8th grade level. So,
first play was a motion jet sweep.
Yeah.
There's just a straight quarterback keep for Jones.
Well, nice blocking.
Jones has got open field out to about the 37. They're going to give him. They're going to give him the 40.
I would credit that lead blocker that turned
beautiful.
Everyone in. Yes, exactly how you drew it up.
Well, and there's the example. When the quarterback runs, you've got an extra helmet to block. Because normally if the quarterback hands it off, he hands and stands. But when he's the ball carrier, you've got one more helmet. Jones has got 2 receivers to the near side. Now motion brings another one across. Jay Kuznar, and it's the option pitch. Good gain again out near the 50. Let's call it just shy of the 49.
You know, and that option is the way they were practicing. It's a real read. They were reading that end and pitching on that. Usually at this level, you call what you want them to do, keep it or pitch it, but now they're using the read.
And what you'd like to see there maybe, if you're going to coach him from the videos, you'd like to see him take a couple more steps inside to keep that man in with him. But the fact that they're making the read on the fly, Jones, he's going to keep it and has the first down, breaks a tackle across the 40 down to about, he finished the run real well, down to about the 37, where it'll be 1st and 10 for Lorain.
That was a nice little run going off tackle like that and breaking
is.
tackles, yeah.
Ready to go are the Titans.
Plus, they're keeping an up-tempo going in there with that calling plays from the sideline.
There's more motion, gives straight ahead, and Moore gets inside the 35 for a gain of about 4.
See, that's a varsity play. You fake the jet sweep, you hand it right up the middle. So, I mean, they're doing exactly. They have the varsity playbook.
Yeah, and you know what? They have the varsity coaches here helping them put it in.
Yeah.
And I know that Scott Sherwood was at all the summer stuff for the varsity. And Scott Sherwood's got quite a football background. He played in college for a Hall of Famer.
Who was that?
Bobby Bowden. He was a walk-on for a year at Florida State.
Okay, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Down to the 30.
I thought he might have been a West Virginia man when Bowden was at West Virginia.
No, that's a little bit longer ago than Scott. It's 3rd down and about 3. They've got to get inside the 27. Jones going to keep it. Going to have the first down and a lot more. Down inside the 15 to about the 13. That just opened up again.
Nice little run.
He didn't have the lead blockers with him that time. That was more of a naked kind of run. I'm not sure if there was a mix-up in the backfield there that he was expecting more to trail behind him on that option kind of look.
I think he faked well, time will tell.
4:20 to go, second quarter. We're scoreless, but the Titans are threatening.
Nice little cut back, yeah.
Cuts back inside the 10. I guess they're going to mark him just shy of the 10 for a couple.
I'm looking at Zion Moore. It's from Southview. And his favorite was Odell Beckham as a receiver.
There's the motion again. Jones, he's going to keep it again. He's going to have a first down. He's
and more.
To the house.
And more.
On an 11-yard run, Willie Jones puts the Titans on the board, and they'll line up and go for 2.
Now, Willie, he started last year for Longfellow, so this is his second year as a starter on an 8th grade team, even though he was a 7th grader last year. And I think he made it in.
He made it in again.
Yeah.
So, Titans break on top on their second possession, 8-zip. And the first points that Warrensville's given up this season, Tom.
Yeah. On a nice little drive. That drive started at the 16-yard line. That's
yes, it was.
84 yards.
Yes, it was.
Now, you're talking about Scott Sherwood as the coach. There is consistency because he and Brian Pagan have been together a long time.
A long time.
Yes. Yeah. And I watched them conduct practice yesterday. Scott took the defense. Brian took the offense. They had the other coaches, Jason Kaminsky. He's the Longfellow coach. He was the one signaling in play. So they're all working together. It was a nice combination of coaching and playing.
Well, let's give some credit to the guys up front. Bryce Colton and Demetrius Hawthorne, Austin Lynch, Watson Williams, Cameron Rice. That was the offensive line that took them 84 yards, all on the ground, Tom.
Yeah.
So, without the kickoff, Warrensville gets the ball at the 35 to start.
This reminds me of the varsity games we've covered in the past when they used to kick it out of bounds and start the 35.
We've done that a few times. Warrensville in that single wide receiver look and a power eye to the near side. Second man through. Got about 7 or 8. Taking a tackler or 2 with him was Darlin Williams.
Javon Jackson on the tackle.
Well, he was there when the guy went down, but he got the worst of the hit that time, but he took it and pulled the man down. That's a big 8th grade tailback.
Yeah, it is.
Second and 2, 2:54 to go. Quarterback's going to keep, hit behind the line, and it's going to be just
close.
It's going to be real. They're going to move the sticks. I saw the man signal. Yeah, of course, it started at the 35, so if he got the 45, he got it. And they mark him just on the 45.
That's why I like to start on the lines, you know.
Yep. So 1st and 10 for Warrensville, 2:23 to go, clock ticking. And Titans on top, 8-zip. The question is, Tom, will we see the ball in the air today?
I don't know. I know at practice they were throwing some passes, so they have a couple double reverses with the passes. And I don't know if they were just working on those just as
to have fun.
But it's in their repertoire.
Warrensville doesn't seem to be in any hurry. Now that's one of the things that's hard to do at this level. There's a sweep
and brought down.
You know, and I'm gonna single out. Is that number?
Was that 34?
8, Leonard McCall got out there and turned that. He just stayed outside the whole time and forced the running back wide. It'll be timeout Warrensville.
That's what that's his job. That's contain. That's what contain and wait for someone to come from inside and actually make the tackle.
And it was done well on that play.
Yeah.
Looks like number 9, but I don't have a number 9.
No. Way down at the bottom, maybe there's some other ones. I can't read the number, though.
We need some toner over there.
Yeah, Scott apologized for the way that printed out. Well, they got a minute 39. They hit to hold them to keep that lead going into the halftime, yeah.
And if you hold them, you get the ball coming out. You know, Tom, when I'm going to go back a long time, and you'll remember the old medical fund game.
Yeah,
was the only time a junior high got to play in the stadium.
Yeah, and you only got to play 2 quarters.
Two quarters, yeah.
Yeah.
And other than that, you were on some semi-grass, semi-mud field out behind the school.
Yeah.
Unless you were Irving, then you had to go to Lakeview Park, or Whittier went to
Oakwood. Yeah.
Hawthorne played over here where the Washington School is. Turn.
Here comes that pass.
There's the pass. He's got a man behind everybody. That was probably a catchable ball if the receiver sees it in time. That was Devon Jefferson, and he was back and behind the whole world back there.
Yeah.
And he was running a fly, and the ball had enough air on it that if he'd have been able to pick it up earlier, he might have had a chance.
I think he would have scored.
If he'd have caught it, he would have scored.
Yeah.
The turf monster was the only thing that would have brought him down.
As you always say, he was open as Denny's.
Oh, he sure was. After COVID, I'm not so sure that anybody's 24/7 now.
No.
So that does stop the clock with a minute 33 to go. It's 3rd and 9. They do have 1 timeout left, but they need a chunk play. Going to run their version.
Pass.
Looks like their version of the option, and it's going to be a sack instead.
Hey, Javon Jackson again.
Nice play there from Javon, and now timeout. Looks like Warrensville again. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I think they're going to think they got that long pass back in their repertoire. I think that's what they're thinking right now.
Now, this is 4th down.
Yeah.
The scoreboard says 3rd. The box says 4th.
I think it's 4th.
I do, too.
I can't remember
Here's
all
the
the plays.
replay.
Yeah.
Well, the long pass was 1, and then they gained a yard.
Yeah.
So that's 2, and then the sack was 3, so this is 4.
Yeah, we talked about McCall strung it out, sure.
So now they're going to elect the punt. So they might have wasted that timeout, but it doesn't go for any harm as they mark it off to the 29-yard line, which is where Lorain will start on offense with a minute 20 and 3 timeouts.
Mark my words, one of these plays is going to be a double reverse pass.
I'm-
I watched them practicing it over and over and over
So
again.
who's going to throw it? Do you have any idea?
Yes, I do have an idea. I think it's going to be Damian Carter.
Okay.
My guess.
That's 25. He's the
Yeah.
wing on the near side. We'll see what happens. They've got 2 receivers to each side. The second one on the far side is right off the tackle's butt. Jones going to just run a straight sweep to keep it. Gets the corner.
And out of bounds.
Gets 10 and gets out of bounds.
There's a boy who is
That is smart football.
Yep.
Smart football.
I watched him play as a 7th grader last year. You know, he reminds me of Eddie Williams.
Okay.
Yeah, he's about the same size. Remember, Eddie was the quarterback his 7th grade, his 8th grade, all 4 years of high school. Yeah.
Those were some very successful years, too.
Uh-oh.
Jones dropped it, picked it up. He's going to take a loss of about 6 there. Whistle finally. Timeout Lorain with 1:04. Now, that didn't help the cause, and it was a mishandled snap rather than a bad snap. I thought that one could have been handled. But so it's 2nd and 15. As the coaches talk things over. Now, I don't know, Tom, but to me, they have run the wide side quarterback keep.
Yeah.
And get 10, 12 yards and out of bounds.
One more time?
You know, when they want to, it seems like.
Yeah. Thing is, now you got to make up. You got to make up that loss because they're way behind the sticks now.
Right. But the other good thing is, with 1:04 left, Warrensville is out of timeouts. So you might have a chance to go on 4th down. Titans come back out. Demetrius Hawthorne over the ball. Snap it to Willie Jones, and Jones has Zion Moore in the backfield.
Look at the safety for Warrensville.
Oh, my. There's the wide side sweep by Jones. Jones has got the corner. Jones has got the first down and out of bounds.
He's seen the marker. He made sure he made the marker and out of bounds, and he only used 8 seconds off the clock.
I want a supplemental, Tom. I called that play.
And that puts him on Warrensville side of the 50.
Now, one of our old friends, you run it till they stop it, then you run it to the other side. So I could see it coming this way on the same type of action because it's the wide side to the near side now as Jones gets him set. There's the motion. Snap. He wants to throw. He's going to throw it to the running back, just overshot him.
Yeah, everything was well covered downfield.
Yeah.
I mean, Warrensville is in a prevent.
Yeah,
Number 1, their safety, Carlos. Look at he's playing 25 yards deep.
I wouldn't mind seeing him go back to that little option.
Yeah.
They ran it once and pitched it for a good gain to Zion Moore. Wide side of the field is still the near side, and that's important just for room to run your stuff at this age. There's the change in strength of the formation. High snap. He wants to throw, pulls it down, throws it high.
Oh, and
That's
interference.
going to be a pass interference penalty.
That will take it.
That's 15. So 47 minus 15 will take it to the 32.
Yeah. It wasn't pretty,
Or
but
interference with an opportunity to make a fair catch. Because it was up there. one of the issues you have with young, afternoon games is the all-volunteer chain crew gets a little bit excited, and they started to move. So we do get the spot right at the 32, and it'll 42 seconds to go. And the Titans, up 8-0, are threatening again with 3 timeouts, and still the two timeouts, wide side of the field over here. There's going to go short side, and cutting back is Moore. Moore's inside the 30, down near the 25, and timeout Lorain.
Yeah. That's their second
That's
timeout,
their
so
second
they
timeout.
still have a timeout left.
And they're on the 25. And they're not on the hash, but they have changed the wide side of the field.
I think, well, it looks like Willie Jones can run either left or right, but most quarterbacks that age likes to run to their right.
Well, he's left-handed.
Yeah.
So if you're going to do a pass-run option, it puts him on the short side. Now he's got his helmet off. Sherwood said, "You can tie your pads at halftime, son." Leonard McCall was in the huddle for a minute, but you want to go with the guy that's been playing to this point. So Jones is back out. There, all 5'5" and a $130 from a Longfellow middle. He knows what it means when the bridge is up.
Yeah.
Twins to each side out wide. Jones has got Moore in the backfield with quick motion. Oh, the jet sweep is fumbled and covered right there. Kuznar falls on the ball.
You see the receiver down there by the
do.
goal line. That was going to be that double
There
reverse
it was.
pass.
You are correct. Yeah.
But see, at this age, too, they were trying to pitch the handoffs rather than hand it off.
Shaheem Jackson was behind everybody.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Down at the K-Cream corner end of the field.
I think they'll run a sweep right wide side. I would try that.
They haven't stopped it yet. It's 3rd and 9, 25 seconds left, no timeouts. So
if you're
without a first down, this could be the last play. And it could very well be with a first down, because who knows if you've worked on the clock play.
Yeah, who knows. I doubt it if they have. I think there's been a rule change. Can't you spike the ball even from the shotgun?
I guess you can, yeah.
Remember, that was something you couldn't do in the past.
So Jones and Moore are in the backfield, 2 to each side, now 3 to the near side with the motion. Snap back, rolling left, wants to throw, puts it up. That's knocked down at about the 4.
See, that's that prevent.
Jackson was out on this side that time.
Yeah.
Van Martin, the quarterback, is playing safety for Warrensville, and he's just about heels on the goal line. 18 seconds left, 4th down. There's the quarterback rollout, cutting it up, cutting it out. It's going to get to the sideline, and he does get to the sticks. So he's got it down to about the 20, just inside the 22, it looks like. 10 seconds to go. That was a gain of about 10 or 11.
I think this will be the last play of the half, so they have a 22-yard play.
Well, I'm not sure that you don't get that on a sweep the way they've been running it. I'd like to see the option again.
Yeah. This is the coach's decision here.
Hey, I don't go to practice every day. They know what their kids can do.
All the players are looking at their armbands, so time will tell here. Another pass.
That's behind everybody, so we are going to get another look. Once again, Jones intended for Jaheim Jackson.
Well,
5 seconds left now. That play took 5 seconds. So barring a touchdown or a defensive penalty, this is the last play of the first half.
I like to see that sweep left. Look how wide they have wide side over here. Get some blocking.
Snap back. Jones.
Ooh.
That was a beautiful throw, but there was all kinds of motion before the snap, so it's going to be 5 yards back. Jay Kuznar caught that ball, would have had a first down, but it's doubtful he would have made it into the end zone.
Yeah, there was 2 people right there with him. Now he had to break a couple of tackles, but he was down to about the 5.
Yep.
No time on the clock. There
should
be 5 seconds.
There still should be 5 seconds because the motion comes before the snap. So rather than put the time on the clock, they're going to say this is an untimed down. Snap back. Tried the same play.
And that's it.
That'll do it for the first half. We've played 2 at the George. The Titans of Lorain, 8th grade version, 8. And the Tigers of Warrensville Heights, nothing. Back with second quarter action after these times out. Back here at George Daniel, ready to begin the second half of 8th grade football. The Titans of Lorain lead the Tigers of Warrensville 8-0, and it was a 11-yard run by the QB, Willie Jones, with 3:37 to go in the half. That was the only touchdown of the half, and Jones converted the run for the extra points, which gives us the 8-0 count. Titans threatened later on, getting down inside the 25 before the clock ran out on them. Tom, you know, I know what you're going to read, but you and I just spent halftime talking about the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame, and it's nomination time, correct?
Yes, it is.
So I'm going to give you a chance to fill people in on how they nominate people for the Lorain Sports Hall of Fame.
Well, now we're in September, and the deadline to get a nomination in for the next class, the class of 2023, deadline is September the 30th. So if you think out there someone that's worthy of Hall of Fame from Lorain, it had to be an alumni from one of the Lorain schools or someone who has lived in Lorain, get an application in. See any one of the Hall of Fame committee members or download it from our Lorain Sports Hall of Fame website.
Absolutely. It's a great event every week, and there's the give straight ahead. Big hole, across the 50, running free. One man to beat. Dragged a nice shoestring tackle there by Anthony Jones. Caught Zion Moore from behind. But from the 35, he goes 35 yards to the 30-yard line. 1st and 10. And Tom, it's kind of funny, but that's just your straight-ahead give, and that's kind of the first time they've ran it. Jones going to keep near side, cuts it up, got 5, got about 4. That was strung out nicely, and Caden Hopkins-Bay made the tackle.
You know, I'm sure Warrensville in their halftime huddle talked about slowing down Willie Jones.
Right, because the quarterback keepers really moved the ball for Lorain, and specifically the quarterback keepers to the wide side of the field. 2 receivers to each side for Jones. Moore is behind him, offset in an eye. Give straight ahead, the same play they started the half with, only to the other side. Moore down inside. He's going to score. Ran over the safety.
You know, I was just going to mention, I thought we didn't have time, but Warrensville defense doesn't have any middle linebackers because they got that spread, so they're taking their best athletes way out there on the slots.
So 27 yards straight ahead for Zion Moore, and it lowered the boom on a tiger here. Put a tiger over your tank. Did you get his license plate, Dad? 14, looking for 16 for the Titans. Jones has got him out. 2 receivers to each side. Jones is going to keep. This is the extra point play, I'm guessing.
And
Jones is into the house yet again.
I see he made it into that blue area.
That sure makes it a lot easier, Tom, with that end zone being a different color. And I'm sure the officials would tell you the same thing. So, the opening drive of the first half lasts 1:24, and it was 2 big runs by Zion Moore. 35 yards to start the drive after a quarterback keeper, the last 27 to finish it off with a touchdown. And they were both between guard and center.
Yeah. Like I said,
the first one to the left and the second one to the right.
I think Warrensville huddle at halftime was emphasizing the sweeps. So they're leaving that middle a little bit open, and the Titans capitalized on it.
And you said the linebackers are wandering out wide a little bit to stop that, and good adjustment by the Titans coaching staff. Now, one thing about nice numbers, Tom, is you got a chance to get a lot of kids on the field. So there's a lot of different jersey numbers out on defense than were for offense, as Warrensville now 2 scores down. They'll go under center with the QB. Van Martin turns, going to throw. Got a man running free, overshot number 4, Devon Jefferson. He had him out there, and he kind of submarined that one out there.
That was a tight spiral for 30 yards for an 8th grader to throw.
It was kind of a Bernie Kosar-like release.
No, I was impressed about it. Now, it was well overthrown, but if he ever finds the mark.
Yep. And that's one thing you don't get at the high school level is a lot of time between quarterbacks and receivers because they don't throw the ball very much anyhow. But now Warrensville down 2 scores. Here's a give to Hopkins Bay, and he's got the corner. Oh, pulled down by the laundry, but not before he's out to about the 47-yard line. That looked like it was Walmy Maldonado, number 36, on the play.
Yes.
So first down for the Tigers. This is the first time they've been behind, Tom, because they hadn't given up a point until today.
Well, I don't know who this Kirk is. I don't recognize that as one of the junior highs in the LEL, so it must be somebody from around the east side
Heights
somewhere.
Maple Heights is Milkovich, I know that.
And
Cleveland
Shaw
Heights is
there's Heskett is Bedford.
Right. Keeper going to throw it again. He's got a man out there, and he overshot him yet again. Different sprinter that time. Latrell Gue, G-U-E, number 12 out there, behind everybody, but again, overshot on first down.
I see Warrensville is going to double wide now because they're 2 down, so they have to come back.
Cleveland Heights is Monticello, right?
Monticello, Roxborough, Wiley, they still have 3.
I'm not sure what Shaker Heights is. That
they call them Shaker also.
Shaker Middle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Out of the huddle. There's something you don't see every day anymore is the huddle. I thought it was interesting when Lenny Dawson passed away a few games ago in the preseason. Kansas City, to honor him, went into a huddle. That's going to go a long ways. There's 10. 15, got the corner, run out of bounds, down about the 31. Van Martin just saw, that wide side of the field is hard for young kids to defend because young kids aren't big kids, and young kids have short legs, and it takes a lot of steps to get there.
And Lorain's defense was just opposite of Warrensville. They're heavy in the middle. They got 3 linebackers in the middle.
Yep.
Yeah, contain is something that you're very, very important. I remember when we coached junior high, we wanted our ends to be some of the best players on the field.
Well, Tom, one of the things that's got to be kind of a pleasure for these coaches is to be able to not have to run 11 on 0 in practice.
Yeah.
Because you've got enough guys to hold dummies or simulate
a real
block.
defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's hard to teach a defensive end to hit and shed and get it 3 yards when there's nobody to hit or shed. It's going to be a
Here's
sweep.
the reverse.
There's the big reverse. And this is Williams, and he's got, the turf monster got him.
Right there at the helmet.
Yep.
The old brown helmet got him.
The 23, it looks like he's going to be about 2 yards shy of a first down. He'd have sure had that.
Yeah. I don't think he was scored because the Titans were getting over there, but I think he was trying to make a cutback, actually.
His gription left him there.
Yeah, I think Warrensville is trying to attack the weak sides and the wide sides and throwing passes, and they've got to open up this offense of theirs.
I think they found something on the ground now, so let's see if they go back to the pass. Here's that short shotgun set. Now, is he going to walk up under? He did. Snap back. There's the old crossbuck. And down inside the 15 is Caden Hopkins Bay.
I think that was Maldonado again on the tackle.
Those are some old Doug Thompson I formation plays.
Yeah. Yeah, I recognize them.
You know, and if you want to modernize them a little bit, they were wishbone staples. The only thing you did was bring the fullback a little bit closer.
I see a Williams just ran onto the field.
Okay.
296 pounds.
That's our big fellow, Weston Williams.
And there's another Williams. I wonder if they're brothers, because this Weston and Weston and Weston.
Okay, they both at
Southview,
okay.
and both
okay.
identical, and they both like Randy Moss.
There's a quarterback keep. There's
a
flag. We haven't had many of those.
More than a few flags.
Somebody must have tackled the defender.
I see a Titan is still down on the field, number 8, Leonard McCall.
He's way away from the play, too.
Yeah. Did he get clipped? I didn't see anything happen. Maybe we got a replay here.
If we can see as the officials move the players out, we'll watch for two things. We'll watch the injury as we look for a signal.
I think official Ivy he threw the first flag.
Yes, he
did.
Then
the other one was closer to the middle.
And he's got the ball spotted at the 21, which would be 10 from the spot of the foul is what I'm seeing.
Here's a replay.
There comes the QB.
Oh, I see McCall getting. He got. I don't know if it was
got blindsided.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if that's the call or not, because that was ways downfield, and the back judge, Al Ivy, threw the first flag. But in any event, it's going to be 1st and 20, or make it 19. They're on the 21. They have to get to the 2. McCall is up now. You know, Tom, no matter how many of these games I do, these kids, you know, when they're all padded up, they look so big. And then when they take that helmet off, they look, you realize that, you know, these are 13 and 14-year-old kids.
They're still 8th graders. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, many of them have yet to turn 14, I would guess. So McCall is walked off under his own power. He's got his helmet in his hand. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him again.
He's the backup for quarterback.
Well, here comes the quarterback in to take his place, Willie Jones.
Well, the wide side is to Warrensville's left this time.
Mm-hmm. And the strength of the formation is to the right, which puts 2 lead blockers ahead of that.
Yeah.
Oh, quick inside handoff there. That was Darlin Williams. He was the first back through, and he gained a couple.
But he still broke it out. He still broke it to the sideline.
So it's going to be 2nd down, and we're going to give him to the 18, so make it 2nd and 16. 3:28 and clock ticking in the 3rd quarter. Titans on top 16-0. Keeps it, cuts it up.
Well, there's a nice little tackle.
Yeah, that was a good
nice
hit.
Tackle, yes.
Hit and wrap there.
Yes.
And falling backwards, the quarterback, Martin, down to the 17, so we'll give him 1. And it's 3rd and 15. Now, in terms of the outcome of this game, this is a big, big possession for Warrensville.
Oh, yes, it is.
They need points here.
Well, it's a big possession for the Titans, too. I mean, they got to stop them.
Because it's a 2-score game, assuming you make your extra points. And Warrensville, with 8-minute quarters, there's 10 and a half minutes to go in this one. There's the give to the outside
Ni-
man. Nice tackle.
Now that was 24.
Montreal Smith.
No, that was C.J. Harrison, I think.
Really?
Yeah,
I got one down below. I got Montreal Smith up top. Oh,
Coach Sherman.
you got to change.
Sherwood mentioned.
Okay.
He said there's two 24s on the field.
Okay. They make 48.
Yeah.
I see another 24 on the sidelines. So
one's the safety, one's the linebacker.
One of them did a nice job right there containing.
And I think that was CJ.
4th down at the 18. They actually lost a couple.
Now,
so this might as well be 4th and ball game.
Now, is Warrensville going to put it in the air?
Warrensville, this is their only possession of the 3rd quarter right now. That's what they have to be concerned about. They're going to try. Nope.
That's
Sack.
Maldonado again.
Now that's Zion Moore, 34 that time.
Yeah. What am I
the
thinking?
running back that scored the touchdown now turns it over right at the 25. So the Titans bend but don't break, aided by a illegal block penalty. And they'll take over. Let's see where they have them. Right on the 24-yard line. So with 1:24 to go in the 3rd quarter, and the clock is stopped. Titans took 1:24 to score in this quarter, and then Warrensville ran the ball for about 4.5 minutes, but got nothing. Jones is going to keep. Jones has got the corner, 30, cuts it up, across the 35 to about the 37.
Nice little block by this wide receiver out here.
Give him 12 and a first down, 13 and a first down. No, they put it at the 36. Give him 12. Clock running with 1 minute to go, 3rd quarter. And this is death by 1,000 paper cuts if you're Warrensville. You need to get the ball back twice to have a chance. And you just saw your best chance to score.
It got stopped by a nice defensive stand by Lorain.
Jones gets him set. Motion. Jones is going to run that little option. Getting it outside. Oh, there's some wheels.
That was a nice little run there.
That's number 18, Javon Jackson from GJW, a 5'7", 156-pound running back.
How come everyone I see over there, Odell Beckham is their favorite football player?
Odell Beckham gets noticed.
Yeah, I guess.
And that's what you pick up on. Now, here's one that I want to know. I want to talk to Brandon Hayden Wilson, because his best player is Bullet Bob Hayes, who's been dead for longer than that he's been alive. God rest his soul. Jones on a keep. Jones gets the corner down inside the 45. Used the stiff arm and picked up a couple extra there.
He was getting blocking. I tell you what, someone has been working on those wide receivers doing some blocking.
And that's going to be the last play of the 3rd quarter here. We've played 3 at the George. Titans 16, Tigers nothing. Back with more after this timeout. Back here at Lorain High, set to start the fourth quarter. Well, we got a minute, Tom. I want to mention some people that are doing the hard work. It's not us. Devin Hood, Jeffrey Torres, Zach Baraga, Joe Bach, and soon to be the superintendent of schools in Lorain, Jaden Morales, right after he graduates from Kent. There's the sweep, and Jones got the corner big time that time, and he took a hit again. He did not duck that. He put the shoulder down, and even though it only met about a yard, that's how you let somebody know you're there to play. There's a flag, then that's going to come back, unfortunately, as the flag is at the 41-yard line.
Too bad. Nullified a great run.
Yep. So they'll mark it from there. Or they're going to mark it from the line. Now, because it was 2nd and 1, it's not as bad as it could be, but you do, instead of having the ball down near the 20, you're on your own side of the 50 at the 48. And there it is at the end of this run. Watch. Boom. Just to let him know that he's there.
Yeah, someone caught holding there. Clock
Jet sweep there. Oh,
he tripped.
Nice defensive play there, getting a piece of Montreal Smith. Or that's not Montreal Smith, that's Damon Carter. And he was tripped up on a good defensive play. It looked like James Stallings, number 13, got through there. So now it's 3rd and
11.
Well, they're going to move it.
13.
Yeah,
okay.
A good 13. 7:22 to go. Titans by 16. You just don't want to turn it over here, then give it up on the 35-yard punt. That's what I would think that's your plan unless you break one. Jones got the corner. He's got 5. He's got 10. And, boy, he's now close enough that you might think about it.
Yeah, they're on their side of the 50. Yeah.
So they're down to the 44. They need the 41. 3rd and 3. And it looks like with Zion Moore coming back in that they're going to go. And to tell you the truth, they have not stopped the wide side sweep for less than, 3 yards.
And they haven't stopped Moore either.
Right.
Yeah. If you remember that beginning drive of theirs.
Yeah, I mean, just the quarterback keep here to the near side, it should pick you up a first down. Whoops.
That might.
Well, we got everybody dancing, and the signal from the far side is encroachment.
Yeah.
Now, the man.
Yeah, they're all pointing to that.
So that's going to pick it up the easy way. Willie Jones with a little trickeration, huh? You think they sent that in? And if they did, let's compliment the offensive line.
Yes.
For not moving.
They've been doing blocking. They've been opening the holes for Moore.
Yep. The 2 guards switched sides there last second. Low snap. Jones is going to keep it on a counter. There's a flag.
Oh, yeah.
It was an illegal block. It was not much of a hit.
No, it wasn't vicious.
But it was illegal.
I think the defender actually turned on him, and you got to learn not to do that.
And I think he tried to pull up, recognizing that. There's probably more contact in the lunch line while these kids are trying to get their food, because this is not a vicious hit whatsoever. But letter of the law says you can't hit them when they can't see you. Now, Jones comes over to get the number. Al Ivy winds the clock with 6:48 to go. Now, this is the backup QB. This is Leonard McCall. Now, we might have too many guys out there. There we go. Titans get set. McCall calls for motion. Misses the snap, and it's Moore that falls on it back on the other side of the 50 yet again, and the Titans are going to take an organizational timeout here. Tom, you got something for me while we got that time?
This is for the Lorain High School Sports Booster Club. This is going to be their annual membership drive for 22-23. This is going to be a very exciting year for Lorain High Athletics. Come and be a part of the Lorain High School Boosters by joining our organization and supporting our student athletes. They deserve our support for all their hard work and effort. Booster Club meetings are held the second Thursday of every month, August through May, but there's no meetings in the summertime, neither June or July, at the Elks Lodge at 7 p.m.
Well, there is a meeting today that I'll be off to when this one ends.
Okay. Yeah. Members are welcome and encouraged to attend every meeting. All sports are to have a designated representative attend each meeting. So this is a good opportunity to meet all of the coaches.
Well, you know, Tom, speaking of the coaches, we just, you know, we got to see a couple of minutes ago that the varsity is still out behind the stadium practicing at 6:30 on the clock. Now, the reason for that is Coach Creel didn't understand what you can't do, so he just did it. So he has a study table every day after school, and then kids come in and they get a lift in before practice.
Okay.
And now after practice, as they head out the door, he's going to hand each of them a meal.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, now he didn't know you couldn't do that in Lorain, so it just got done. Big gain there by Zion Moore and goes out of bounds. Got the penalty yardage back. Without a flag, it's going to take it to the 35, stopping the clock with 5:59 to go. So, yeah,
so they're back on.
The reason I bring that up is I'm seeing the fruits of the labor in the program growing here, and this is another one. Nobody said you couldn't do one 8th grade team.
Yeah.
And here it is. There's the jet sweep.
You got to cut it up. You
That's
can't
Carter.
just keep running forever.
Yeah, Carter just
strung
it out himself a little bit there. You gotta at some point you gotta duck and take a yard or two.
Yeah.
So that's going to keep the clock running. 5:40. It's going to be 3rd and 4. Barring a
when I got
sudden turnaround, Tom, the Titans are going to move to 2-1.
Well, they got to hold this drive.
And the reason I say that is because there's no onside kick here.
No.
This wide receiver is way out here. That's going to pick up the first down, I think.
That may be the second time. It's going to be
the
very
second
close.
time this quarter that they've done that. Let's see.
I'm not sure they're going to make it. Yeah, they do. They gave it to them.
Yep, they moved the sticks.
That's the second. But look at the safety for Warrensville. I thought he was going to prevent when Lorain was throwing. Now,
I mean, to cover this sideline from where he's at, that's a big, long sprint. McCall hitting the backfield. And, you know, this is an opportunity for the second unit to work, and you can see that they don't get the opportunities that the first group does. Leonard McCall is out there with Javon Jackson, 18, in the backfield.
I give the coach a lot of credit for getting everyone into the game.
Yep. Snap back. There's the sweep. And again, you got to cut it up and take something. And pushed out of bounds for a loss of 1 was Javon Jackson. They said keep the clock running. I like that, man. It's going to be a loss of 1.5 yards back to the 34. So it's going to be 3rd down and 14. There's a good sweep. McCall down to about the 26, it looks like.
And the clock's still running, so
Yep.
it'll be well under 3 minutes by the time they take the next snap.
Let's see where they mark it. About the 27, they got to get down. There's a timeout by Lorain, interestingly enough.
Well, they probably want to get some other
Now they've
kids in the
signaled
game.
it the other way.
Okay.
They signaled it Warrensville timeout. It should be 4th down and about 8. The scoreboard has 4th and 15, but the down box has 3rd down. And they're each partially right.
Well, there's a penalty
There's
in
it
there.
goes,
Yeah,
yep.
yeah.
That is a thankless job. I did it for a number of years here when I was coaching on the basketball staff at Admiral King. And I can tell you what, on those miserable nights when the game is one-sided, and I can remember one where it was raining so hard that the flag ripped because it was so saturated with water. And this was well before turf. And we were out here, and it was not a good night for the home team, and it was about 40-0. And the JVs were in with about 2 minutes to go, and the ball came out of bounds on the near sideline, and the official called for the chains. And we waved him off. Give him the first down. There's no one here. Because it was ankle-deep mud back in those days. McCall bats it down, picks it up. He's in some trouble. He's going to lose a yard or two. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers.
And McCall did not go down, but they
Right.
had stopped his forward progress.
That'll stop the clock on the turnover. I'm not sure. If, when you put a different quarterback in, you have some quarterback center issues if he's under center. So I don't know if they changed the center as well in the gun there.
Well, they were practicing 2 centers
Okay.
yesterday, and I thought that was a great idea because,
absolutely.
I mean, at this level in the shotgun, he touches the ball every single play.
Right. Yeah, the 2 guys that touch it every play are the center and the quarterback.
Yeah.
And unless the center doesn't do his job, and he's the only one that touches it.
No, I can see the 3 schools coming together and it's working out. But way back in the day, we always liked the diversity of 3 junior highs because you end up with 3 centers, 3 quarterbacks.
And you also had 2 or 3 high schools back then.
Exactly.
That was the difference back then. These are Titans, and they're going to be Titans. So Warrensville comes out, 2:41 to go. They're down 16-0. You know what? Looking at this Warrensville program and knowing that, they didn't have high school football for a few years, I see great organization here. Yeah, the numbers are still a little short.
Yeah.
But they have been very well organized. They have run their plays. Yeah. They've got a quarterback at the 8th grade level that looks like he's fairly skilled and really athletic.
You'll see him playing varsity next year. I guarantee you that.
Well, it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, being the Division IV team, we're amongst 2 or 3 teams that are Division I. It's hard. It got to be hard.
Right. Well, you're losing Shaker Heights and Cleveland Heights. Those are
2 Division I's.
2 Division I's. You've got Lorain still.
Yeah.
And then other than that, I think you've got a bunch of 2s and 3s. Garfield Heights
got to be
being
a 3.
A 2 or a 3.
Shaw,
same with Bedford. Shaw is probably a 3 or a 4.
Yeah. Bedford is probably a 2.
I'm going to guess they're a 2 or a 3.
Yeah.
So, they're going to always be. But I can remember one night when they came here for a varsity game on a Friday night. They brought 11 kids, and we had lightning, and they came back the next day with 8 or something like that.
I know the quarterback didn't come back. Yeah.
There's a I formation give.
Nice tackle
Darlin
over
Williams. That was Kazan Brown.
Yeah, nice
17 from the safety come up and made that hit. He's a Longfellow student and a fan of Lorain's own Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I seen that. When did Kareem ever? When was he?
Kareem was born in Lorain, Ohio. He still has family here.
How far did he go?
Well, he went to Warrensville. He went to Willoughby South. So I don't know.
But would he spend elementary grades here?
I do not know.
I just wondered. Somebody asked me, and I said I don't know.
Yeah, he has some family in the Lorain. Actually, a couple of my former students.
Okay. I don't know. You're allowed
that was kind of a Canadian football motion. And Martin gets hit at the line, breaks a couple tackles.
And he's
still
going.
He's got a first down. He's going to score.
Go all the way.
Let's see. I'm going to credit the pursuit there, keeping on going. And especially Kazan Brown, number 17, who came from this side of the field across to make that tackle. Now, they say he was down at the 25. Clock stopped to move the chains. Now they wind the clock. Al Ivy's got a pizza in the oven.
I talked to Al before the game. His Friday night, he's going to do Carson, Canada?
Oh, Clarkson, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a keep or a give to Hopkins Bay, and he's taken down one-on-one.
Oh, there's a tight.
That's one of those 24s that made that tackle, yeah, Tom. I'll let you decide who.
I think he's the outside linebacker. I think that's CJ.
Okay. Clock winding, minute 25 to go now. Timeout, Warrensville. The game's been decided, I would think, but there's still the pride of getting on the scoreboard.
Like you said, there's no onside kicks. So
right.
If they do score,
Lorain
takes over, yes. And knowing the coaching staff of Titans, they'll take a knee or they'll
the biggest thing is you got to make the snap. You didn't make the snap the last time you had the ball.
Yeah. But they don't get under center. They never get under center. So.
And that if there's one negative about the gun, it's that when it comes time to running out the clock.
Yeah.
You know,
at this level, you worry about the snap all the time.
I worry about the snap at every level. It doesn't take but one. And, I thought about that toward the end of the Buckeye game the other night, just thinking, CJ, can you get under center for a couple?
That was a good game. That
was an entertaining football game, and that was two good teams, not just everybody looked and said, oh, the Ohio State's a 17-point favorite and they didn't cover. Well, they played the number 5 team in the country, and number 5 was pretty good too.
And they only moved down to number 8, I think, after that loss. So they've seen something.
Well, if your point spreads are your thing, they covered on the road.
Yeah.
There's contact quarterback. That's a different quarterback. That's Marlon Scott, number 10. And I'm not sure what that play was going to be. It looked like he wanted to roll out this way.
Yeah, he needed somebody to come in for a lead block. I think that's what that motion was going to be.
Well, he ran into the tailback, so I'm not sure. One of them went the wrong way.
Yeah, I see they're bringing Van Jackson back in.
Martin,
Van Martin back in.
3rd and 8. 52 seconds, clock ticking. Here comes the sweep, and this is Williams. Yet again, he breaks one tackle. He's got the corner. He's inside the 10, down to about the 5-yard line and out of bounds to stop the clock with 29 seconds. No quitting these Tigers.
No, I'm very, very much impressed with this. And there's a big boy out there, 54. I don't have a number on him.
Right.
On the program.
Yeah, they stop at 53. We can give him one of our 24s, though. They don't have one of them.
But look at the size of him.
Yeah, he's
for an 8th grader.
Big kid.
I'm talking. He got to be 6'3".
He stands out the way Orlando Pace stood out as a middle schooler at Sandusky. Wishbone look.
There's
Throw
the
to
pass.
the end zone. Touchdown.
That
Devon Jefferson from Van Martin with 24 ticks to go. From Van Martin. Gets him on the scoreboard. From 5 yards.
And it wasn't badly defended either.
No,
he was right
we
there.
had a player there just wasn't big enough to get to the ball. It was the perfect throw.
Yeah.
You cleared the defender. That's what you have to do with that corner pass is let your receiver make a play. So 16-6 as they go for the 2. There's that short set. They're going to run it near side. Martin's going to keep it. Martin's going to get tripped up.
Did not make it. Yeah.
17, Kazan Brown got just enough to bring him down short of the goal line. Now with 9, that shouldn't have started there. It should still be 24 seconds because that's an untimed play.
Well, Lorain will take over on the
35.
Barring any disasters, they'll run out the clock on this play.
Right. You know, Tom, it won't be too long before the NFL eliminates the kickoff.
And do something like this.
Well, and then say it's your ball 4th and 10 on the 35. If you make it, you keep it. If you don't, you turn it over. You want to try and keep it. And they do have a clock play here. Tight formation. Under center, snap back, knee down. And that'll do it here.
The clock did not start. Now it did. They counted out the few seconds that did. So I give that again. The coaches got credit. They understand that concept. They got the quarterback up under center.
That's the formation you love to practice. Because it's victory formation.
Victory. Yep.
And the Titans moved to 2-1. The Tigers dropped to 1-2. Tom, that was a really, really entertaining middle school football game.
It was a good one.
Titans got on the board first in the second quarter, 3:37 to go. It was the quarterback, Jones, with an 11-yard run. He converted the 2-point conversion, did Willie Jones, and it was 8-0. That's our halftime score. Titans got the ball coming out in the second half and went 65 yards in 3 plays, with the bulk of the work being done by Zion Moore. 35 yards on the first play, a 3-yard quarterback keeper, and 27 yards on the next play. And that was a touchdown. Jones again for the extra point, and it was 16-0, and the game was in essence over. From there, what you just saw, 24 seconds to go, and Warrensville, playing till the final buzzer, gets into the end zone on a 4-yard pass from Van Martin to Devon Jefferson. And, Tom, I believe the only pass that was completed in the football game.
I think you're,
We had one caught early in the first half that was on a penalty and didn't count.
It got called back,
so
you're right.
So I think that is the only pass that we had. Once again, let me take an opportunity before we leave to thank Devin Hood, Jeffrey Torres, Zach Baraga, Joe Bach, and Jaden Morales for all the hard work behind the camera. For my partner, Tom Bauer, this is Jay Ferguson reminding you that it is a great time to be a Titan.